Tanks are pretty awesome. Everyone can tell what a tank is, and 9 out of 10 people can tell the difference between a motorcycle and a tank. But where do you draw the line on how big and how ridiculous a tank is? Is it the T-28? The American super heavy ridiculous tortoise thing? Or the Russian Object 704, where they tried to do something pretty big? Or for yourself, does it just lie at the good old Panzer VIII Maus, which kind of was pretty big? I mean, it weighed 188 tons. That's quite big. An armour sitting between 15 and 22 centimetres all around the tank, with a whopping 128mm gun, that's pretty big. But what about a tank that weighs 1,000 tons, has two 280mm guns, and armour between 15 and 36 centimetres? Sounds preposterous, right? Luckily, didn't get very far. I'm talking, of course, about the Landkreuzer P1000 Rat. Now, the information that I've got here is just what is available, what is actually out there, not whether or not it is exactly true or anything like that. So basically, this thing was huge, okay? So I mean, like I said, 1,000 tons of tank, or rolling fortress. Now, this thing planned to have two 280mm naval guns, one 28mm anti-tank gun from a Jagdtiger, 8 20mm Flak 38s, and two 15mm MG151s. So it would have been able to hold its own against land, sea and air. Now, the big guns are a bit interesting, because the guns, as well as the turret, would have came from a Scharnhorst class battleship, as seen here. Basically, they would remove one of the guns to assist in the loading mechanism, and then just put the turret straight on top. And that's quite a big gun to put on a tracked vehicle. Now, to lug this massive monstrosity around, the planned engines to go in this thing were two MAN submarine or U-boat engines putting out 8,400 horsepower apiece. Now, with the weight of the vehicle, I'd love to have seen what the top speed of this thing was, because it couldn't have been that fast. And a few more little bits of information. It was supposed to have at least a crew of 20 individuals, and it also was to have like some weird little vehicle bay to hold motorcycles in. That's a bit odd, but okay. And even its own infirmary. I don't think so, but that's obviously what was concepted, or at least the idea of the concept was. Now, even though Hitler wanted some sort of super heavy tank, Albert Speer, who was the Minister of Armaments and War Production, cancelled the project, clearly seeing that it was completely ridiculous. Now, the idea of these massively heavy vehicles and really big guns didn't stop there, because there were thoughts, or at least rumours, of an additional project in which they basically had the same sort of tank, a hull, but put an even bigger gun on it to make it as some sort of self-propelled thing. But again, all just hearsay. But it did spawn some pretty interesting games, such as Sniper Elite, where you actually come across the Landkreuzer Rat, it gets to shoot at you, and you steal all the plans and destroy it. Now, whether or not this was true, an engineer's pipe dream, whatever, if this thing actually was built, went into production, and was seen on frontline combat in 43, 44, 45, would it have made a difference? What do you all think? I would have made it into a mobile armoured gaming room.